yeah, Ecamm was a big part of that, um, up leveling the pro look and the professionalism with which I stream.
Hey everybody, you know what time it is? It's time to go behind the stream, powered by Ecamm. It's the chance to look at your setup. We want to see what you use to get your perfect shots, you know, the cameras, the lights, the microphones, and how we're using Ecamm. And we're excited today to have the one, the only, Robert Kennedy III, as he likes to be known, RK3.
Yeah, in the building.
How are you doing today, sir?
Fantastic, brother. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. Thank you for joining us for Behind the Stream. I know I've known you, well, you've been in the stream Ecamm family for a long time, starting back with Vlogmas a couple of years ago. But tell everybody out there a little bit about you and what you do.
Yeah. So before I do that, I met you and Strick and all the other fantastic people in Vlogmas, but I've actually been using Ecamm for a while, probably since like 2016 was when I started to use Ecamm. I started with I used to do some podcast recording with Skype, and I started with this software that Ecamm had called Screen Recorder or Call Recorder.
So what do you do for a living as a profession
Yeah.
that kind of got you down this path?
So I run a training company. I work with organizational leaders, helping them to communicate with confidence, helping them to use storytelling as a framework for their communication in business. On the other side of my company, we work with small business owners who want to deliver their stories on stage and on video so that they can attract their ideal audience and generate more income. So in some ways, I'm a video storytelling coach, and in other ways I am a presentation skills coach. In some ways I'm always wanting to be ahead of the game, right? I don't want to just hop on Zoom and be the same as everybody else. So I'm like looking at what I have in my space and trying to get, look a little bit more polished, get a little bit ahead, stand out.
So let's start with, what computer are you using?
Oh man, so the computer, you're not going to really be able to see it. I'm using two Mac Minis, actually. I have the Mac Mini M1, and if I were to actually do this, let me see if I can get my hold on one second. I have my cord wrapped up in a way that I don't want. I'm not one of those, you know how you get those clean streamers and their cords are perfectly um organized and
I
got
don't have a
cable
top-down
management down
camera
to a
for that
science.
reason.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I have a top down, but yeah. So I've got this. Let me see if I can get this under here. All right. So boom. So underneath there's that M1
There we go.
mini, and then there's another one that's under here, but that one is pretty much there for general work. But here's the other thing that it does is there's this TV behind me,
Gotcha.
right? And I use that for several reasons. I use it for branding purposes, for messaging purposes. If I'm doing trainings or things with workshops with clients, I'll pop their logo, I'll pop their stuff on there. And every once in a while, if I'm doing something where I'm standing, I'll run some slides from back there. So that other Mac Mini controls that stuff.
Gotcha.
That's back there. So yeah, so that's pretty much the basics of the computer setup that I've got going on. But yeah, there's a M1 16 gig, 16 gigs of RAM, and then there's the other one that's the Intel machine.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Awesome. So let's talk about your cameras. What cameras are you using right now? What are we looking at?
Mhm.
And what else are you using for different shots?
Okay. So right now you are looking at a Sony ZV-E10. That's this one right here. All right. Sony ZV-E10 with a Sigma 16 millimeter f1.4 lens on that one. I don't have, let me turn on the other one as well. So there's that one. And then over here on this side, I've got a Lumix G7 that's there. And that's kind of like my side shot. If I want to do that, let me switch to that one. Right. Okay. So that's a little bit out of focus. I turned off the, okay, there we go. All right, but that's not. I don't have that set up how I want it.
Yeah,
But
that's
yeah,
good.
yeah. All right, but yeah. So there's that one. On my wall up there. Let's see if we can zoom in. There's a GoPro Hero 3, which kind of gives me this shot here.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. So that one's there. And those are the main three that I use pretty much. Oh, and then of course in my hand I've got a iPhone that's connected directly through to Ecamm, using a whatchamacallit, a Caldigit. Everybody knows about these. So I've got a TS3. I'm trying to see if I can get a TS4 soon.
Right.
But
Now, are you
that's
using
the
the cam links to get those signals into the
yes.
Caldigit? Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I've got three cam links. One cam link for each of the mirrorless cameras, and then one cam link for the GoPro. And then I don't use this that often because blah 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 blah. But there's
Right.
a
Right.
Logitech Brio that's up above if I'm doing an unboxing or just doing something basic, down there on my desk.
Very good.
So yeah,
Well, you sound good, so let's go to the next route. What sound are you using? Microphones
I
and
am
input.
I am on a Shure SM7B here, and this is my baby. This is what I use the majority of the time. But depending on what I'm doing, if I'm doing workshops, where I may be standing or moving around, I tend to use this. This is a Rode NTG2 shotgun microphone that is up here.
Nice.
All right. So if you look kind of here, you can kind of see it's nearby the camera. So when I'm speaking, the NTG2 is probably maybe 18 inches from my mouth. So if I were to switch to it right now, you would hear the difference
Hmm.
in the conversation. It's a
But it
little
still
bit
sounds good.
more. Yeah. 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 So there's that. Yeah, so that's the main microphone. However, I also have here sometimes if I'm moving around, and you're not going to see this that brightly because it's a little bit dark under here. But I have down here a Shure um, wireless microphone system as well that is connected to a lapel microphone.
Yep.
And so I use the lapel microphone every once in a while, but there's this other thing. This company, I connected with them online and they sent to me, this company is Point Source Audio, and they sent to me this over the ear. Let me see if let me open this up without putting the camera all over the place. They sent me this really neat microphone, and here, check it out. Let me put this on the desk here so you can see it. This really neat microphone. It fits right over my ear.
Oh, there you go.
So this part right here, that's actually the microphone. So it's if you've ever seen like the Countryman microphones,
Right. Right.
a lot of workshop presenters use that it kind of extends all the way around. This one doesn't extend. It's like literally right over my ear, but the sound is incredible.
Is it
So
wired or is it wireless or how does
yeah,
it work?
yeah, it's
Okay.
it's wired. I connected in. It's plugged in. It's plugged into like one of those lapel packs.
Right. Right. Right.
Um,
Oh, so you
but
can do it
but in this,
wirelessly. I got you. Yep.
yes, yeah, absolutely.
That is pretty
So
cool. Does it sound? You like
yeah,
the sound of it?
so this is the pack that I connected into Shure.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I do. I really do like the sound of it.
But
Yeah,
did you
and
start with all those microphones, or what did you? What was your first? You said something about a Blue Yeti. Was that your first microphone you started?
yeah,
All right.
a Blue Yeti was the first microphone that I had. I mean, back in the day, I mean, I had the Blue Yeti microphone, but my camera was the internal camera, the FaceTime HD camera on my iMac,
Very
right? And that's
good.
what
Very
I
good.
was using when I first started with Ecamm. I was just using that microphone, that camera. I ultimately upgraded to I got a whatchamacallit, these babies. Hold on, sorry. Come on. Okay. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. The
Logitech,
Brios.
the C9. No, this is not even the
Oh,
Brio.
it's
This is
not
the
even the Brio.
C920.
Okay.
Yeah, this was before the Brio, right?
Right.
So these are the Logitech C920s, which honestly they're HD 1080p. But here's the deal: I was actually recording one day. I was live streaming with that, and my room is my office is it's not a big space. It's like 10 by 11, and my windows were open, and everybody was texting me. They were like in the comments saying, "Oh my gosh, what kind of camera are you using? The clarity is like amazing." And I'm like, "I'm using the same webcam that I've been using all this time." But it wasn't I didn't really recognize what happened until after. I finally recognized that the most important thing in the cameras that you choose is not so much the cameras as it is the lighting.
But now that you've got the
Yeah.
cameras figured out, you said something very important there about lighting. So what are you using? How did you fix the sunlight? Because we know that's not consistent every day.
Well, I got blackout curtains. I don't know if you can see. You can't even
Yep.
really see. I got
Hmm.
blackout curtains in my office space here. And then I invested at the time in um some LED lights. And I don't have them in here anymore, but I got some of those thin strip LED lights that you can kind of adjust, and I was using those. Oh, no, before I did that, I was using a ring light. I had a ring light. I got a good ring light, and it was cool, but of course you get the ring circles in the eyes, and I'm kind of like, yeah, I got to do better than that. And so I got the LED lights, but then what happened was, as I'm going into the community, the first thing, and I'm going to veer away from lights for a second, but you'll understand why I did in just a second here. I'm thinking about different lights, but I'm also thinking about functionality. So around this time, I hear about the Stream Deck. So I get the regular 15 key Elgato Stream Deck, and I start to do that. I start to play with that, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, this thing can control lights. Okay. So I look and I see the Elgato key lights, but I'm like, I don't necessarily want the key lights at this point because I don't know if I need them. I don't know if I want to spend that much money on lighting. So I get one key light air. And again, my space is not that big, so one key light air really did the job. It did the job for me. It gave me and it just kind of gave me some character with my lighting. So I've got two lights here, right? But I tend to use just the main light, and then the fill light, I don't usually keep that on all the time. As a matter of fact, let me turn this down a little bit. But I keep the main light, I keep the fill light off for a lot of the shots because it's just, as you're building out studio stuff, yeah, there's lights, but you still have to kind of find your own character.
Three tips from RK3 on that they should start with, how they should start out.
Audio, content, and then lighting. Yes. Lighting third, and then start looking at the cameras and the video stuff after that.
Very good. So where can people find more about RK3 and how they can maybe learn from your services and some of the things that you do?
My main website is robertkennedy3.com, but the place that I mainly hang out online is Storytellers Growth Lab. So you can go to storytellersgrowthlab.com, or you can just get connected with me on any social media platform at robertkennedy3. I keep that as consistently as I can. The only place that I'm not at robertkennedy3 is on TikTok because somebody took that. They're not even active, and I'm a little upset about that. So I'm real Robert Kennedy 3 on TikTok.
Sometimes you just got to do that, right? So, hey,
Yeah.
I appreciate you joining us here for Behind the Stream and sharing with your story and your journey with Ecamm. I hope it inspires some people out there. If you just want to get started and you want to just jump in, go live today, or maybe you're like Robert, you're a professional, you know this is kind of the next elevation of your business, you can start doing live today. Thank you very much, Robert.